North Korea?
Yeah, so there have been some suggestions of the possibility of a diplomatic visit to North Korea, possibly as early as next week. Do you have any plans, or are you giving any consideration to sending an envoy to the North?
Well, as you probably know, Arshad, and everybody else, we have been prepared to send Ambassador King to North Korea in support of Kenneth Bae's release. As I mentioned a couple of days ago, perhaps you were gone, but we remain engaged in this. Our priority is, of course, doing everything possible to secure his release, which means we aren't going to outline or confirm or detail every effort that's underway in that regard.
You said we have been, so you continue to be?
Sure, absolutely.
And is he ready to go at a moment's notice? I mean, is there any reason to think that this is, because as you're well aware, he was supposed to go late August, early
and then
September.
It was canceled.
Right, and then you guys have said, I know as recently as 2.5 or 3 weeks ago that, or somebody, a U.S. official said that you guys were open to, were ready to send him. So I'm just trying to get some sort of sense of whether there's actually something in the offing, or if there's no reason to think that.
Well, what I was trying to get at, perhaps not clearly enough, but is that we're not going to outline every effort or plan or discussion underway, because that's not in the interest of our number one goal here, which is securing his release. Ambassador King has long been prepared to make that trip, and I don't think that's changed.
Okay, thanks.
Have there been any recent communications between you and the North Koreans, or your protecting power in Pyongyang?
And our protecting power, I don't have the last contact. I can certainly get that for you with them about the specific issue. We're in regular contact. As you know, we have means and channels to communicate with the North Koreans, but I'm not going to outline that.
You're not going to say if there's been anything recent? When was the last time anyone had been in contact with Kenneth Bae?
Let me see if I have that here. Let's see. Let me make sure this is the latest I have is that Swedish embassy representatives met with him most recently on December 30th, 2013.
Not in January.
Do you have
I
any
will check that. Not in the last. I will check that not through the course of up to January 28th, but I'll see if there have been any meetings since then.
And do you have any information about the status of his health and whether it is deteriorating further?
I don't have any new information. As you know, we've remained concerned about his health and the status of his health, which is why we continue to call for, in part why we continue to call for special amnesty for his release. But I don't have a new update. I'll see if there's anything new on it.
No.
Let's just do the last one in the back. Go ahead.
North Korea.
Okay.
North Korea has threatened to call off the family reunions if the U.S. and South Korea go ahead with the annual joint military drills. Do you have a comment on this?
We talked about this a little bit yesterday or the day before, and just that these are annual exercises that are, of course, run by the Department of Defense. We have, of course, encouraged and any positive steps about that can happen between South Korea and North Korea, including the family reunification, but I don't have any other commentary on that specific.
So the drills are going to be continued on schedule.
I'd point you to the Department of Defense, but my understanding is that's correct, yes. Thanks, everyone.